The rules of football are quite clear, so it is easy to assume that football fans and players alike know when they are crossing the line. Well, as glaring as these rules might seem, lots of people in the football world still cross the line and put up very inappropriate actions. From the Spanish FA president kissing a female player to Ronaldo slapping a fellow professional, these are the 10 most inappropriate moments in football. Ronaldo slaps an Irish player. CR7 might be famous as the most disciplined player on the planet, but even the most disciplined people on the planet have occasional slips. So the Portuguese captain is still prone to making some mistakes, and he clearly slipped when he slapped Irish defender Dara O'Shea for interfering with his penalty kick. As much as this goes a long way in letting other players know that Ronaldo would not have anyone interfere with his penalty kick ever, slapping another professional in a match just because he got on your nerves or you were under pressure will never be justified. Ronaldo could do a lot better. However, he let his emotions get the better of him. Well, he ended up missing the penalty, so we can easily say the universe punished him for his misconduct. Zidane headbutting Materazzi. Speaking of elite footballers misbehaving, Ronaldo is not the only top player that has disappointed fans by an inappropriate behavior. Over a decade before he slapped O'Shea, Zidane did something no one expected him to do. He headbutted Italian defender Materazzi in the 2006 World Cup final match between France and Italy. He was perhaps the best player on the pitch, and loyal fans might want to excuse his bad behavior. But regardless the reason he headbutted Materazzi, Zidane was wrong and the referee did not hesitate to give him a red card. Although being sent off was ample punishment for what he did, it appears it was not enough as his team went on to lose the match. Although we do not know for sure, things could have turned out differently for France if Zidane had remained on the pitch, and they just might have been crowned world champions in 2006. Unfortunately, the best man on the team turned out to be their weakness. Suarez handling the ball with his hand. Zidane's action in the 2006 World Cup final might have cost his team the trophy. However, 4 years later, when Suarez misbehaved in a World Cup match and was sent off, his team greatly benefited from his actions and had him to thank for being sacrificial. Uruguay were in the quarterfinal and were playing Ghana, one of the strongest teams from Africa at the time. Ghana had a goal-bound shot, and for a moment, it seemed like Uruguay's World Cup dream was coming to an end. But Suarez was ready to be a sacrificial lamb to ensure his team continued in the tournament. So instead of letting his team get eliminated, he decided to stop the ball from scoring, Suarez biting Ivanovic. After stopping Ghana's goal-bound shot with his hand, Suarez became super famous in the football world, and the average football fan only assumed he was done doing the wrong things of fame. But the former Barcelona striker was just getting started with his misbehaviors. For his 2010 World Cup misbehavior, the Uruguayan only got a red card. So I guess he felt a red card was all he was going to get for biting Ivanovic. But he was wrong. The funny thing was, he didn't even get a red card as the referee did not witness the event. So he probably felt like he got away with his misbehavior this time. But after the match, the entire incident was examined and Suarez was slammed with a 10-match ban. Southampton fans disrespecting the dead. So the football world is very much aware of the passing away of Argentine player Emiliano Sala. This is quite old news now and maybe should not be talked about much as nothing can be done to bring back the player. The man was looking to complete a move from France to England and decided to travel by a small plane. The officials, as well as the fans of Cardiff City, were expecting him, but he never showed up. As a matter of fact, his plane went missing, and after a long period of search, it was obvious he was gone for life. As much as nothing could bring back the player, his life was celebrated and the football world appeared to have moved on. However, there was a slight issue when Cardiff City faced Southampton, as some Southampton fans acted like they could spot a plane make its way into the pitch. This gesture was their way of mocking Cardiff City and perhaps the late player. The football world was not having it, and these fans were punished for this very disgusting act. They got arrested and were banned from watching football in the stadium for 3 years. Jordan Dunn's pitch invasion. Speaking of football fans doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, the world might not know much about Jordan Dunn. However, fans of West Ham and Tottenham might not forget him for a long time. The then 22-year-old fan invaded the pitch at Upton Park just as Tottenham were about to take a free kick. So on making his way to the pitch, he simply ran towards the ball and played the free kick that Eriksen was about to take. Of course, he missed and stadium security caught up with him. In the end, he had to pay a fine of about £300. His punishment could have been worse and he could have been banned from watching football in the stadium. However, he swore never to repeat his action, and for this singular reason, he was allowed to continue watching football in the stadium. Spanish FA president's kissing scandal. Planet Football might have forgotten about Jordan's intrusion. Unfortunately, we cannot say the same of Spain's female World Cup kissing scandal. Spain's national female team were crowned queens of world football not too long ago, and for the first time too. There was a great deal of celebration until their FA president did something no one expected him to. It will be almost impossible to explain what he was thinking when he decided to kiss a member of the squad that won the World Cup. This action is one he might regret for the rest of his life, as what was supposed to be a simple kiss turned out to be an action that lots of female football fans all over the world might never forgive him for. At first it seemed like the Spanish football player that got kissed and the FA president had a romantic relationship. However, after she made it clear that she was as surprised as everyone else, the world turned against the FA president and there were calls for his resignation. So far, he has refused to resign and is insisting that he is being witch-hunted. Due to his actions, there are reports that 81 female footballers in Spain have made it clear that they will not be playing for the national team if he remains in charge of the FA. Well, the pressure is still growing, and the football world can only wonder how long he will put up with the pressure. To find out if Luis will step down as Spanish FA boss, subscribe to our YouTube channel. With this, you get to avoid missing out videos and the latest reports on any developments about the Spanish FA and its president. It's a disgrace. Luis's action is proof that football is far from perfect. The main actors on the pitch do all that they can to ensure that the matches are entertaining and fans get proper value for their money. Sometimes, however, it seems like the officiating is the exact opposite of what the footballers do, and a perfect example of this was the 2009 Champions League semi-final between Chelsea and Barcelona. Chelsea appeared to be the better team in this match, but it appeared the referee was supporting Barcelona, and allegedly, with the help of the referee, Barcelona were able to get into the final. Now, for other Chelsea players, the match was over and they just had to be professional, but Drogba was not having it. He confronted the referee and said, "It's a disgrace, a fucking disgrace." At the time, it seemed like Drogba was right and there were lots of questions about the officiating. However, he had no right to behave in the manner he did. A porn star runs across the pitch. If this is not the most inappropriate thing done on a football pitch and during a game, it's perhaps the second most inappropriate, and that was why we saved it for a second spot in this video. Football fans from the Netherlands once hired a porn star to invade the pitch during a match, all because they wanted to distract their opponents. In this match between AFC and Rijnsburg boys, an adult entertainer ran into the pitch wearing just socks and boots. She had a Rijnsburg flag and ran towards an AFC player. Well, in the end, the team that hired her lost by 6-2, so her presence on the pitch was simply useless to the team whoever hired her was supporting. A naked pitch invader disrupted a match between Shepshed Dynamo and Sutton Coldfield. We saved this misconduct for number 1 because this pitch invader did not only defy societal norms, but also went against the weather when he ran into the field while a game was on. The invader came into the pitch in the second half, and the match had to be stopped for a moment. We are not sure what happened to the fan afterwards, but his presence helped the weaker team deal with the pressure of being relegated. And it's a wrap on the 10 most inappropriate football moments. Do you know any moments that are more inappropriate and should have made this video? Please let us know in the comment section below. Also, hit the like and share buttons if you are yet to do so. See you in the next video.